Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Hafizi bin Bahri with metric number 07 DKA 18F and 2035. So today our group will present to you about our mini project, which is about the pros and cons of asynchronous classes. So before we get started, let me introduce our group members first. So the first one is myself, Muhammad Hafizi. The second one is Rima Farah Shakira bin Rizal Effendi with metric number 07 DKA 18F 2022. And the next one is Priscilla Emeline Eldin Christie with metric number 07 DAT 18F 2009. And the next one is Owens Wilson William with 07 DKA 18F 2034. And the last one is Solomon bin Philip with 07 DKA 18F 2025. As for our introduction, we are the students of DKA4MK is conducting a survey to complete our mini project for the DUE5012 Communicative English 3. And so our survey is about the pros and cons of asynchronous class, as well as gaining insights on how good the asynchronous class is to students. As you know, asynchronous learning is a general term used to describe forms of education, instruction, and learning that do not occur in the same place or at the same time. It uses resources that facilitate information sharing outside the constraints of time and place among a network of people. And so, students do not attend online classes in any online platform, but rather access pre-recorded lectures and digital curriculum materials and respond through email, discussion boards, social networking, and collaborative documents at a time of their own choosing. And so this presentation is based on the findings of a survey conducted on 3rd of April 2021. Questionnaires were distributed to students of Polytechnic Kota Kinabalu via Google Form. And so recommendations about what is the best way to overcome the challenges we face when attending asynchronous class were also given. So the next one is about the purpose. So the purpose for the questionnaire is to find out about the pros and cons of asynchronous class to students. And the next one is to find out if the asynchronous class were useful for students. And the last one is to find out about what challenge they face during the asynchronous class.
And as for our method, we use a survey to collect our data from a Google form, and we gave it to our student from Polytechnic Kota Kinabalu, and we managed to collect at least 30 respondents from them. And the type of question that we use is multiple choice, yes or no question, and true or false question, and lastly is people's opinion type of question. Now let's move on to our first question. Asynchronous e-learning courses can be used to reinforce learning activities that were delivered. So as you can see on our pie chart, majority of our respondents choose yes for the answer, and only 26.7% choose no for the answer. This shows that asynchronous e-learning courses is indeed can be used to reinforce learning activities that were delivered. And for our second question, course material may be misunderstood or have the potential to be misinterpreted without the real-time interaction. So on our pie chart shows that 60% of our respondents choose yes for the answer, but however 40% from our respondents choose no for the answer, which is quite a lot. So this shows that course material may slightly be misunderstood or have the potential to be misinterpreted without the real-time interaction.
Asynchronous learning is much better for students who live in rural areas. In this pie chart, 63.3% have chosen yes instead of no. There are nearly two-thirds of students who have chosen yes instead of no, with slightly more than a third of students. From this pie chart, we can see that asynchronous learning is indeed much better for students who live in rural areas. Using asynchronous classes is not appropriate for grouping tasks because it is difficult to make a group discussions. In this pie chart, 80% have chosen yes instead of no. This pie chart shows that there are a very large majority of students that have chosen yes over no, with only a fifth of students. It clearly shows that asynchronous classes is indeed not appropriate for grouping tasks because it is difficult to make a group discussions. Students can learn in their own time and schedule. In this pie chart, 70% have chosen yes instead of no. This pie chart shows that there are a significant proportions of students that have chosen true, while there are less than a third of students choose false. We can assume that students can learn in their own time and schedule well.
Okay, students may feel less motivated to study due to the lack of question and answer session with instructors. Okay, we can see the pie chart shows that slightly more than half of students choose true, while they are nearly more than two-fifths students choose false. We can see from this chart that students may less motivated to study due to the lack of question and answer session with instructors. Okay, next is the internet data usage is not too large due to the use of pre-recorded videos for classes instead of live online classes. Okay, there are more than half students choose true, while there are slightly more than two-fifths of students choose false. This shows us that there are slightly more students believe that the internet data usage is not too large due to the use of pre-recorded videos for classes instead of live online classes. Okay, next asynchronous learning gives students full responsibility for their online class experience. This pie chart shows that there are slightly more than a three-quarters of students that have chosen true, while there are slightly more than a fifth of students choose false. We can see that there are a very large majority of students think that asynchronous learning gives students a full responsibility for their online class experience.
Number 9. Contact through asynchronous may be limited, such as delay, feedbacks, and answers from instructors. From this chart, we can see that more than a half of students choose agree, followed by strongly agree, will less than a third, slightly then 1 in 10 for disagree, and finally less than 1 in 20 for strongly disagree. We can assure from this chart that contact through asynchronous may be limited, such as delay, feedbacks, and answer from instructors, but not too much. Number 10. Students are facing a non-conducive environment to catch up with online learning due to the lack of interactors between students. From this chart, there are more than a half of students choose agree, with slightly more than a quarter of students choose strongly agree, followed by approximately a fifth choose disagree, and last but not least, strongly a non-conductive environment catch up with online learning due to lack of interactions but between students but not too much. Number 11. Synchronous learning allows students to study at their own speed, makes dealing with busy schedules easy. We can see from this chart that 1 in 10 of students choose strongly agree and disagree, which makes it share the same percentage with 33.3%, while there is no vote from strongly disagree.
As for recommendations, we have asked the student opinion regarding the best way to overcome the challenges that the students face while attending asynchronous class. So here are a few answers that we choose from the 330 respondents. So the first one is make a group discussion in online meeting with friends while studying the pre-recorded class. The next one is to manage our time well with study and rest and play and many more. The next one is discipline yourself and set your goals. The next one is, in my opinion, we must take time and more relax if we want to overcome any challenges. So the next one is the one of the best answers that we have choose. And the best way to overcome this matter is by letting minimum students per asynchronous class, as when the online class by using such as Google Meet, the lecturer cannot focus on the students' question mostly. So by doing more section for one subject particularly, this can lead the students ask more questions without dragging much time, and the lecturer answer can meet the students' need. As for the conclusion, it can be concluded that the majority of the students will start to adapt with asynchronous class due to the pandemic, and we can assure that from this survey we can see that while there are still many challenges from this asynchronous learning, many students still can do pretty well in their studies and start to overcome the upcoming challenges from this new norm type of learning. Thank you for watching.